Wholeness, welcome to Notes of Nara. This is Naja Rashida here. Accountability. Why you shouldn't hold other people accountable. Um, we tend to do this when we need confirmation, validation. Um, we need justice. We need to put the other person in their place. And I am a firm believer that individuals who commit, let's just say, they have toxic habits or a toxic way of conducting themselves, it's like I am a firm believer that truth prevails, and the true nature of how people choose to conduct themselves always comes out. I'm very much in allowing the natural flow of things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a pushover. Yes, I'm a pacifist to a certain extent, but I'm definitely not a pushover. I'm very scorpionic, right? It's like for me, if I'm pushed into a corner, when it comes to external conflict, I will take out the stinger, okay? Everyone has this. Everyone has their a boiling point. Everyone has that that point where you have to stand your ground and take authority, and have activate that solar plexus, that willpower, and say no. But to try to check someone and put them in their place so that they're lowered down a peg or two, or and you're raised up a peg or two, don't do that. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. Accountability. Here's the thing about the account, your spiritual account. You are the spiritual accountant of your energy. Your energy is your mind, your heart, your body, physicality, psychology, your financial stability, creativity, life force energy. We have so many different aspects of our consciousness that are constantly interwebbed with each other that sustain our reality, internal and external. If we are all infinite and we're all interconnected, why in the bloody hell do you feel like you need to put somebody in their place? Don't waste your energy. Protect your energy and be guided, right? Be guided by your internal compass. You can call it Jesus, Muhammad, Abraham, God, or goddess. It doesn't really matter the name of your path or the pathless path. I'm becoming more of a firm believer of breath, right? The first act that a human being commits in this life is an inhale, is the breath. And the last act that we commit is an exhale, breath. So just remember to breathe. It is crucial. When you feel pressure to call someone out because they've done you wrong, call someone out because they've done someone else wrong, there's a time and space for that. But it's it's so easy to be angry. It's so easy to be reactionary. It's so easy to have to go with that flow of, oh, I need to respond. I need to share my thoughts. I need to share my feelings, share my opinions. It's much harder to be the observer. It's much harder to internalize and to process privately, to sit and just observe, to watch, to study. I love to study people, allow people to construct their own narratives about who and what they think you are and how they think you are, right? Um, Especially living in the digital age, it's going to get, I think, within the next 10, 15, 20 years, it's going to get that much harder for people that are of the world, to discern. because the next step, now that we have the digital age, is virtual reality, meaning you're constructing worlds within worlds, realities within realities. And so if your discernment isn't on point, you're just going to want to confront anything and everything that isn't in alignment of your purpose and isn't in alignment of your truth. It isn't in alignment of who you are. A lot of the time when we feel like we have to hold someone accountable, there's something wounded in us. It's that judge in us. It's that the wounded, the victim in us. Needless to say, yeah, fight for what is right, I guess. But I'm saying, I'm an alchemist. I'm one that I believe in the cycles and seasons of things, and that when wrongdoings they show up in front of me, I'm not too quick to just react to it. I watch and I study and I process that way. And when you study the nature of something that is false, when you study the nature of illusion, when you study the nature of a pain body, when you study the nature of an ego or a persona or personality that's causing havoc or disruption or an imbalance in your space, watch. I was watching, it's for free online. I love Greek mythology. Oh, I love Greek mythology. There's so many powerful tales and stories and lessons about morality and ethics. The Greeks were on that one for sure, man. They were on it. I gotta give it to the Greeks. They know how to write some good stories, man. But Odysseus, the Odyssey. And there was a TV series in the late 90s that came out. And I remember in high school, when we were reading portions of the Odyssey, because here's the thing, in general the general public education, they drop a few nuggets here or there. You're not going to read the whole Iliad. You're not going to read the all of the Antigone or Medea. You're going to read, they take certain portions of it out, which is unfortunate. But we watched the TV series after studying, the story and the epic trials and tribulations of Odysseus. But in the TV series, I don't know the name of the actor, handsome dude. He played it, and then I think who else? It was Bernadette Williams. And then, oh my gosh, she's a African American lady. Oh gosh, Vanessa Williams, and then Bernadette something, and then Isabella Rossini, forgive me, Italian model actress. Just a completely star-studded TV series. But there's a scene there where Odysseus finally comes back. Okay, he's been away for like 20 years. So when he left, his son was born. So he left on the day that his son was born. And then when he's eventually makes his way back, it's like 20 some years later. So he'd never met his son, but he finally meets his son. And Athena puts a disguise over him, so that he can hide his true identity from his enemies that have slowly, taken over his land, his home, his world, he says. And so he's an old, decrepit man. And his son is getting like fed up. His son has now become a man. Because he told his wife, Penelope, when our son grows his first beard, I want you to remarry and just accept the fact that I am dead and I cannot come back, and I don't want you to be alone. I want you to be with somebody. Anyway, so his son is fed up. His son's like, you know what? I'm ready to just, because they're becoming more and more obnoxious and really plotting it was getting heated. Either he was going to make a move or they're going to make a move, but somebody was, swords were going to be drawn and lives were going to be taken, kind of thing. There's a fight scene that erupts, and the old man Odysseus screams out to his son, because his son is just about, like, they're trying to edge his son onto, they're invoking a fight so that they can have an excuse to killing him. His father screams out, right? What did he say? He said, being angry is easy. Right when his son was just about to go at him, right? Being angry is easy. Being reactionary is easy. Wanting to confront is easy. Or it's a very human thing. We're very expressive. We're very sentimental, and I think it's a spectrum. If you're too expressive, you're imbalanced. If you're not expressive at all, you're imbalanced, right? It's we're constantly up and down, up and down. We're very all over the place. Human beings and our feelings were chaotic, okay? Like I told you, Sunday was rough for me, right? That day I had to confront an issue, and the issue finally confronted me, and I couldn't run away. And there are moments where you have to, stand on your square. And I had to do that. There are moments in life where you literally have to do that. And if that involves a conflict with another person, then that's just what's going to happen. However, not look, maybe it's psychological warfare. I don't know. But if you've read any of Robert Greene's books, like Power, Seduction, all that other stuff, which I have, I definitely want to reread it as an adult because I read it very young. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, dang. Oh yeah, psychological warfare. If you think about a military or a general, okay, the general isn't thinking about winning every single battle. He's thinking about winning the war. There are specific battles that need to be fought and they need to be won. But he knows he has to make a sacrifice here and there. In order to win these two battles over here in this location, I've got to sacrifice, I have to lose at least 3. But I need to win these 2 significant battles over here. Okay. Side note, I'm a pacifist. I have much respect for military or the veterans. I really do. Have taken care of them in hospital, like dozens of them at this point in my life. And I've had family members who've seen combat. A lot of respect for them, but I'm a pacifist. However, I do respect the psychology that goes into warfare because it's all internal, like the spiritual warrior, right? It's all in the mind. And if you have a general, if you are that general, you encompass that archetype, right? Because generals, highly successful generals, I think, are so successful because they're really intelligent. It's not about reaction, right? It's about studying, processing, observing, calculating. It's very mathematical. Risk, probability. But, so if you can apply that to, your social interactions with friends and families and coworkers, you know what I'm saying? And also, not everyone out in life is out to get you. I used to think that too. I used to be definitely afraid of people in general for a long time. And it wasn't until my late 20s that I finally got over that. But it just, humans freaked me out. When I was a kid, I'm like, the confusion, okay? I've always felt alien. and weird and otherworldly. Hiraeth, or Hiraeth, that's a Welsh word meaning somewhere else, somewhere like it's a longing for a place that you it's a longing for a place that you've never been. It's a very weird feeling. But you have like this desire and this deeper knowing that you've been there, but you haven't been there. But yeah, not everyone's out to get you, and you know, because when you go in that with that mentality of you against the world, oh, what an unhappy life. What a very unhappy and unfulfilling life. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like growing up, I heard a lot of, oh, the white man's keeping us down, white supremacy, all that other stuff. I'm not saying that none of it, there's no truth in any of that. However, again, accountability. You take accountability for your life. You're not externalizing blame, shame, or guilt onto anyone else. People will project. See, when guilt, shame, and blame and pain and trauma have nowhere else to go in your body, it's completely consumed your whole energy field. It then begins to projectile vomit onto anyone and everyone that surrounds you. So most of your interactions are negative and manipulative and nasty and controlling and just unpleasant, where you don't even have to say anything really, and you walk into a room and people just kind of avoid you. I've seen that. I see that. I've seen that. I see that. And I probably will continue to see that. I've seen the opposite, where people do the work. They take accountability for their trauma, blame, shame, guilt, pain. And they walk into a room and people enjoy them. They want to be around them. They want to talk. They want to engage. Like, look, the unseen rules the seen. Just know, the only sole person that you can literally hold accountability for is you and no one else. You know, I hear myself tell my kids, my kiddos, my students, like, take accountability. You need to take accountability for yourself. Take accountability. Take accountability. And I think that they're probably the only group of human beings that I can actually feel comfortable saying that to, because children need to learn that. We as adults are guides to them in this life. We are life guides, not lifeguards. We are life guides for them. We can only tell them and show them in 100 different ways. And as adults, there's a point in their life where they have to choose. Right now, they're just learning that they have choices. They have options. That's why they are so defiant, right? 12, 13, 14 years old, you know, they're developing their ego. It's just part of their development. But again, don't react. And look, I'm not perfect, okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yes, I got to totally figure out. I never react to anything. Come on, that'd be a bunch of bull, okay? However, I have awareness. And with awareness, even like when you are reacting, you're aware that you're reacting. Because some people don't even know that they're reacting. They just think that that's who they are. They just think that they have to defend the illusion of what is right in front of them, right? We all, it's in some percentage of our reality and how we engage with our reality, we are literally defending illusion most of the time and very little truth. I'll say that one more time. We often, when we're reacting to someone else or something else outside of ourselves that we don't agree with, it's usually, in support or in defense of an illusion, a story, a misunderstanding, a program, a conditioning. And very, very small percentage that people defend is, you know, is truth, literally. So that's why I don't spend a lot of I don't like confronting people. I think it's a waste. Have I confronted people? Yes, but it was time. Again, divine timing is everything. My faith in spirit and life in itself and the universe, what we call God, consciousness, is so much deeper than in a job, relationship, family, or friends. I'm not saying I don't have faith in any of those things. I'm just saying my faith runs it's way deeper than reality, what we call reality. Spirit is more consistent and more natural to me than this life, or what we call reality, society, our jobs, careers, family. All that is impermanent. I believe in the impermanence of life, and you should too. Nothing remains. Everything changes. Everything changes. So as I age in this body, and as I grow into my womanhood, I notice that, arguments will happen, disagreements will happen. You will be pushed up against the wall. There will be moments where, the moments where you have to stand on your square and you have to speak up for yourself and say no or say yes. Or, it's for your growth and you will feel it. There's a difference, right? When you're standing on your square on a truth, and that person may not believe in your truth, but when you stand firm on your truth with your whole being, right? And you're confronting a deep issue, it's time. It's time. Sunday was a time for me, and I had to stand on it. And no, I don't actively seek out disagreeing with, disagreeable energies. It's a waste of my energy, man. It's a waste of my energy. You can't right every wrong that you see. Man, I used to believe I was here to heal everybody and heal everything, and I was called a healer and a witch and a sorceress. Oh, I was called all kinds of things. I put so much pressure on myself. People put a lot of pressure on me too, because I do have a kind of specific, kind of a specific energy about myself. I do. I don't label it anything. I let people do that. I allow people to construct narratives that whatever they want, when you know yourself, when you are comfortable with yourself, you do not need, you say less, I find. When confronted, you say less because you know who you are, you know where you stand, and when you're solid on that, you don't necessarily need to, give a whole speech. These are the reasons why I'm right, and these are the reasons why you're wrong. It's like there's a time and place for it, for sure, for sure. And when that moment comes, you'll be ready. You will say exactly what needs to be said. You'll do exactly what needs to be done, and that'll be the end of it. So with that, may this message find you well and whole. Oh my God. Excuse me. Man, I started fasting because it's Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. Woo! Yeah, I did that. I sure did. No, Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslimas out there. No, I'm not. I was raised Muslim, but I'm not what you would call devout I was raised Orthodox. I don't know. See, religion really, man, Religion can mess you up because it's like you'll stop practicing it, right? But it never leaves you. It never leaves. It just stays with you. There are aspects of Islam that I really love and that I find very beautiful. And Ramadan is one of those things. Fasting is one of those things. It's intentional. It's for celebration of life. It's for gratitude for all that I've been given, what I have, and what I will receive. It's giving homage to those who do not have much. It's a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate it. So, especially for my Palestinian, you know what? Not just everybody over there, okay? Everybody over there. All right, the Israelis need prayer, Muslims need prayer and healing and love. Palestinians, Israelis, the Syrians, Afghanis, in the Congo, because I know Congo's going through it. I'm fasting for humanity, man. We need it. This species needs it. So, Ramadan Mubarak. And how you say it back is Ramadan Kareem. Alright? That's how you say it. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm tired. I gotta take a shower. It's been a long day. Yeah. So, those are just reasons why you should not hold anyone else accountable. When you only hold yourself accountable, like, stress is just minimized. Stress is minimized. I'll probably make another video when other people hold you accountable. Maybe. I don't know. Give me some ideas, guys. I'm open. You know what I'm saying? You know. All right. Much love to you. Be well, be whole, be healthy. May this message find you well and whole. Take care.